Hello everybody, my name's Orion and I wanted to do a video today about an issue I've had with some concrete I had done and a way I found to kind of alleviate the problem a little bit. I've been getting, I did some concrete about a year ago, had somebody come in and do a bunch of our driveway over again, and I've been really happy with it, except that I've been getting these splotches. As you can see, these sort of darker areas. And essentially the concrete hasn't cured the same way in these little spots. Most of it looks good, but there are a few sections where it has these dark splotches. And I talked to the guy who did the concrete, and he said this happens sometimes when there's just a little bit of moisture underneath the concrete, or maybe that section doesn't get as much sun. But I'm here in Sacramento, California, where this has had a year to cure, and this section gets tons of sunlight, and it's 90 degrees plus all through the summer. So there shouldn't be any reason why it wouldn't cure or get dry enough. But I figured out that if I take a wire brush, and I'm using my drill, but you could do it even without a drill, just a regular wire brush. And I found that if I brush over these areas, it gets rid of most of the darkness and it blends a lot better. So I'll show you kind of what it's looked like before. This section over here is actually an area that used to have a lot of dark splotches. And I've already brushed over that section and it looks much better. And you can see over here where there's still these dark splotches because I haven't done anything to that section yet. So I'll show you kind of how it looks as I'm doing it in before and after, and that might be useful for you if you have a similar issue. This was done with a color hardener, so that may have exacerbated this issue. The color hardener gives a little bit of a consistent color to the concrete, so this has a lighter color than some natural concrete would have, and it also hardens the surface a bit. So you may see this problem more if you've used a hardener like that. I'm not sure if that made it worse or if it just happened to be the issue I had because of other moisture issues. But hopefully this tip is useful for you, and I'll show you how it works. So here's a very obvious dark area, and when you're just walking around staring at the concrete, you really notice areas like this. So all I'm doing is taking this wire brush attachment and going over this lightly. I don't have to get really deep into it. I don't really want to damage the concrete, but it's just a very light brushing and it makes a huge difference. So you can see I'm not using a ton of pressure. I don't have to use the drill up super high. I just put a little bit of pressure on it, and it does a great job. And at first I thought maybe I'm just superficially getting some dust on here that'll wash off. But I've actually found even when I wash over this with a hose, it stays like this. I can blow off the dust and it still stays looking just like this. So it's genuinely working to get this just top layer of darkened concrete off. And you can see when I stand back and I kind of look at the concrete overall, I really don't notice that spot at all anymore. So taking a look at this section, you can see that it's not perfect. There's still, if you walk up and look closely, you can still see discolored portions. But when you stand back and you're really looking at the concrete as a whole, to me it's a dramatic improvement. And there are some sections, like the smaller section I did, that are just gone basically. I'd never really noticed it after I removed that section. It was right here. Alright, so hopefully you guys can make use of that technique and get similar results to what I got. Concrete's expensive, so I was really happy to have all this new concrete until I started seeing this issue pop up with these splotches. So I really didn't want to have to stain the concrete or do something crazy to get rid of it. So I'm really happy to find something that really minimizes the effect of it. Never going to be perfect, but I think it's a big improvement. So hopefully it works for you too, and good luck with it.